Good morning, and welcome to our poetry workshop.
Yes, it is National Poetry Month, and last week we talked about poetry in children's literature, and today we're going to be writing our own.
Yeah, and these activities are all great for pretty much any age that can read.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Most of them come from the poetry seminar I took in college. Shout out to Professor Fanning, thank you for the ideas.
Despite feeling intimidated by poetry, I am super excited for these activities.
Yeah, charge forward. Why not?
Yeah. So, Catherine, what are the 3 different poetry activities, workshops, etc. are we going to be doing?
Well, we're going to be doing some book spine poetry, some blackout poetry, and poetry out of a hat.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, these are not by any means like professional set in stone names. They're just what I call them in my head. So if you look it up on Google and you can't find anything, I'm sorry.
So book spine poetry, I actually really love the idea of like taking kids, maybe like a class trip or something, to the library and just letting kids loose on finding titles to pull together for poetry.
Yeah.
So you want to give us the gist of how to do book spine poetry?
I mean, I think it's good to start off with titles that just kind of grab you, you know, titles that you like the words and the sounds that they make. And so grab a bunch of those and then try and form them into a poem. So,
okay, so you stack them.
Yeah,
horizontally.
like, okay, I've got my
us
example all ready to go here. So, I used...
Do you want me to hold these and you can...
I got it. So this is my book spine poetry. And if you read it, oh, thank you, perfect. So I've got, just for today, hope was here, circling the sun, dancing on the edge, falling into place. I see the moon better than before. These broken stars, all I need.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. It doesn't, I mean, it sounds...
That's really profound for taking, like, book titles, right?
That's what I was aiming for. I was aiming for something really indistinct and profound, so it sounds like I'm intellectual.
Well, when I raided the Ibigora library, I kind of went the sillier route.
Perfect. Okay, what did you come up with? Man, yours looks a lot more manageable than mine.
So, here are my books, and it says... The sheep go on strike at break of day when no one is watching. Uh-oh, Riot.
I love that. Sheep riot. But I love that. I think that illustrates the fact that you can be doing the same kind of poetry exercise and come up with vastly different results.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is the blackout poetry. And this is kind of like sculpting, I guess, where you start off with the hunk of marble, in this case, any article or book page or, you know.
It's great for older newspapers or magazines.
Yeah, exactly. You can take any form of that, and then you just black out the words you don't want to use until you're left with a poem.
So we decided to use Catherine's blog post.
I mean, it's confidential, so it's bound to be redacted anyway.
Exactly.
You know.
So we're going to get going on that, and
Got
we will share our results with you.
This is what we came up with.
All right. What did you come up with?
All right, yeah, I want to read mine first because I feel like yours is... This is not my particular favorite brand of poetry workshop. I'm not good at this one. So I want to go first before yours puts mine to shame. Okay, so I have, secluded somewhere is a story, which I will be happy to share with you just as soon as I have found it. I couldn't keep the world, your heart, my life in Mississippi, but I can see love making a difference again.
Wow, I really love that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I felt like, these are random words. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, once again, mine is much shorter. I blacked out most of the page.
Nearly everything.
Yeah, nearly everything. So I have, somewhere in Nepal, people possess the top secret original smell of old books.
I love that. Oh my gosh. See, yours was so much better than mine.
I don't think so.
I loved that one.
See, it's just one of the great things, again, that completely different poets, same project. Same original text even, right?
Yes. Okay, so Anna, why don't you explain the last one? Poetry in a hat.
So, poetry from a hat, or from a jar, and I'm gonna show my nerd cred here a minute. We're using my Honeydukes candy jar.
I can't believe I haven't stolen this from you yet. Really, that's a tribute to our
You
friendship.
probably haven't stolen it because I haven't had candy in it in a while. It's just not good for me to have candy on my desk all day.
So yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a hat. It can be a jar. It can be
Right.
some kind of container.
Yeah. So we actually asked one of our friends, Philip, to just type up a bunch of words for us.
Mm-hmm.
We chopped them up, put them in here, and we're each going to choose 15 words.
Right.
So from those words, we can add endings, and we can add words in between, such as articles, but we can't like change spellings or anything.
Right.
Also, we're allowed to either trade up to 5 words or drop 3 words.
Right. So feel free to make up your own rules with this, but those are the criteria that we're establishing for ourselves.
Yes. All right. So, Catherine.
Yes.
Grab 15.
Oh, I want the one that fell on the floor.
All right, Catherine. What did you come up with?
Gosh. All right. Dogs are invited to the angels' superb feast, elevated through the atmosphere because of their intentional selflessness. They ascend swiftly regardless of altitude sickness, eager to join the solar luncheon. One terrifying host forbids the dachshund from getting seconds, but that dark angel disappears in a plume of vapor as heaven heralds its furry friends.
I love it.
It's ridiculous. It doesn't...
No, it is, but it's fun to, like, imagine all of those things. Like, I love, like, regardless of altitude sickness.
Dogs just gathering around the table like, yes,
Yeah.
feast.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to read all the 15 words that you picked, but just tell me what was your hardest one that you didn't give to me, because we switched, and what's your favorite bit?
Okay, well, I kept the words, I got the words solar and luncheon, and I put those together, and I kind of like the way that sounds. But, no, plume was actually one of the ones I traded you for. And I can't remember what I traded you for, but I guarantee you it wasn't as hard as trying to work plume into this poem. That was ridiculous.
Okay.
All right, your turn.
Ancient tomes, basically paper fruit, fortify minds better than neat desks and pastel worms. Ignore shoeless opinions alongside bandaged egos.
What is a shoeless opinion?
Okay, in my head, it's sort of like a baseless opinion, like ignore people who say something that doesn't really, it's not based on anything.
Only good opinions have proper footwear.
Yes, it's true. So yes, shoe was one of the hardest words that I was given, as well as bandage.
Alright, so what's a combination that you really liked then?
I think my favorite was paper fruit.
That is a cool one.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I added far fewer words than Catherine did. But that's the fun of this, right? We can have completely different styles even with the same exercise.
Right. Well, and I think the fun of it is that, you know, you don't have to take this too seriously or
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not poetry experts, but it is a fun activity to do and just kind of like find these creative combinations and laugh at the ridiculous ones.
Or be like, wow, that was actually really profound.
I'm deeper than I thought. Whoa.
Yeah. So I think my favorite workshop was the Blackout Poetry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what mine is. I guess I liked the book spine poetry, actually. I liked going through books and, like, seeing the titles in new ways. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you had a favorite here, let us know. And if you have a different poetry exercise that you like to do, share it with us. We would like to fail at something else.
Well, thank you for joining us. Have a happy Poetry Month, and we'll see you next week.
I was actually born on National Bad Poetry Day.
That's so perfect then.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So, I mean, like, it was fated that I would suck at this.